So the predominant color is green. So I want to play with some green. However, red or blue could really help emphasize some of the greenness. That's right.
Do you have any of those cute little fishing scissors?
Like the ones that cut? There could be some in my desk drawer.
Okay.
There could be some anywhere in my locker. So first thing I'm always going to do whenever I get a landscape, I'm going to do this. Image, auto tone. Okay, not too bad. You're going to say, what happened? It turned it, image. You can't really see it on the monitor here. You can see it on my computer. Auto tone. It added just a little bit of blue down here in the water. You could hardly see it, but it did add a little bit of blue. Okay. Then I'm always going to do image, auto contrast. Okay, we're good on the contrast. All right. So I really like the idea of this being glowing and bright back here. So I'm going to right click, duplicate, just in case I ruin it. I don't want to ruin my original. Put it on screen. So first thing I'm going to do, I want to create a little bit of contrast down in here. So this pops out a little bit more, especially these little tiny details like this. Now, pretend this is a city photo. I could still do the same thing with little details in the city. So I'm going to make these shadows a little bit darker. I want to bring a little contrast into these plants here. So I'm going to grab, let's jump over here, just so you can see what we're going to be working with. Scroll down, some of the tools. Okay. I'm going to use dodge tool. I'm going to use burn tool. I'm going to use contrast tool. I'm going to use color balance tool. I'm going to use saturation tool, sharpness tool, and hopefully some tone mapping / HDR, which HDR means high dynamic range. So it takes all the shadows, all the highlights, and all the midtones, smashes them together, and pulls the maximum detail out of each of those. Right? If I overexpose Bree's hoodie, makes it brighter. We would lose detail in Bree's hoodie. If I overexposed Dane's hoodie, we'd get more details because it's dark. Okay, so we want to use the details from the overexposed Dane's hoodie, and we want to use details from the underexposed Bree's hoodie because then we get more details in the light. And you add those into the correct exposure. You learn that in advanced photo. We're going to play with some of those details loosely with toning in here and on Pixlr and Photoshop. Okay, but we'll get there in a second. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here, find the dodge and burn tool. So dodge is going to allow me to make things lighter. Burn is going to allow me to make things darker. So I want to come through and intensify the shadows in these leaves. See how this leaf really stands out quite a bit? I'm going to do that a little bit more. So I'm going to do burn. I'm going to pick shadows, and now watch this here. If I do 100%, okay, it makes it pretty dark pretty quick. If I do 14%, I can slowly build it up, which is okay underneath here. Darker, faster is okay over here. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to click 40%, and I'm going to use that on the leaves. However, my brush, I need to make it a little skinnier. So I'm going to do this here. Change my brush shape. And all I'm doing is darkening the shadows. Just so this has a little more contrast. Now I gotta be careful because these are shadows back here. I don't want those to get darker, right? That bits of water. Shrink that down a little bit more. Rotate this. Now, me changing the shape of my paintbrush, that is some uppity artist stuff. Okay? Most people who edit photos are not going to do that. They're going to be like, oh, just quick, make it work. But the difference between a beginning student and an advanced photographer is they take the time to really manipulate their brushes and their tools to get the image they want. And that's really, if you guys went out and took a photograph and you guys were competing with John Fielder, oh, look at that, made that one way too dark. Undo. He'll outshoot you, and I'll edit you because he's really taking the time to understand all the little ways that he can make this process I'm doing here faster. And that's okay. He's got years of experience. So you want to think about how can you separate your work from other people's work? It's really learning how to do all the hard work. Also, if you guys hope to get a job someday, the person that can perform better and take the time to do all the hard work is going to be the one who gets the job. Okay, so I'm still just burning in shadows. Okay. Work those shadows on this leaf. This is kind of a cool looking leaf here, so I really want to. Now you got to think about, I am working on one portion of this picture. You can see original, new one, original, new one. All right. So now I kind of like the shadows you got going here. I want to darken this up right here a little bit more. Back over here to the burn tool, right click, normal circle size. Okay. Just getting some of that space under here. Now, zoom out on screen. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. So I'm going to make this look like a glowing forest shape in the back. Okay, just type it in. But I want to kind of increase some of the intensity in the shadows just a little bit. So when I increase the exposure, it still has some shadow. Okay, so increase some shadows up there. Now, I'm going to zoom in here. I need to make some contrast right here. I need these to pop out from here. So I'm going to see if this will work. So I'm going to take my burn tool. Let's do burn tool 900. Okay, not bad, not great. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over to my dodge tool. That makes things brighter. I'm going to look for mid-tones. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit. So this is fine-tune, make those pop out. I kind of like these sticks right here. Let's make this a little bit. Squish it down smaller. Rotate it right there. Perfect. This little green guy's going to pop out. Oh, green guy's going to pop out. Love these little leaves over here. Give them some pop. Nope, don't like that. Okay. Now, one of the big differences, like why do I not? I'm still lazy. I'm sure you know this here. I am still lazy when it comes to editing. Still super lazy. I will not do some of the hard work. So I'm like, it's just, I don't have time. I have other things I got to do. And so that is a big difference why some people get the photo jobs and I don't, right? So I want a little bit of blue in here. So we'll get to that here in a second. So now to add a little bit of blue in there. Well, I guess we'll do it now. No, right there. Oh, stop moving you. Go on screen. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click my new layer here, duplicate. Hit OK. And now, actually, you know what? Let's undo that. I don't need that new layer. I'm going to saturate this layer just a little bit. So image, adjustments, saturation. So I'm going to just increase the greens by a little bit. You can really tell towards the bottom. Now, if I get crazy, watch this. Wow, that's too much. I could also desaturate if I want it colder. I think 8's good. Hit OK. So original, new. Original, new. Original, new. All right. So now what I want to do, image, adjustments. I want to do two things. I want to add some blue in the water here, but I want to work the green in here. So I'm going to duplicate this now. And we're going to say blue shadow. Okay. And so on that top one, I'm going to go up here, image, adjustments, color balance, shadows. Now, I don't know if you can do this in Pixlr. I think you can. I don't know. So I'm going to increase some of the blues. Oh, man, that got intense. There you go. And some of the highlights, increase the blues just a little bit. There you go. Okay. So now I do like that. I like all that blue, but that's not what I'm after. I'm after green. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this one here, grab the eraser tool. 2500. Okay. And I am erasing away all of this stuff up here. So I just want blue in the shadows. Let's see. I just want blue in the shadow of the water. Okay. So this has got that blue in it. Now I bring this back. There you go. See how now I have blue in the rocks, but the rest of it's green. All right. So now I also want this to be a little more intense, a little brighter. So what I'm going to do, grab the background layer and this layer. I kind of like where that blue's at. I'm feeling it. Yeah, we're gonna roll with it there. I'm gonna flatten these two. So I select both, right click, merge those layers. Okay. Oh, original, edit, original, edit. Okay. So now I'm gonna grab my dodge tool. We're gonna make it enormous. Let's go with 700 pixels in midtones. So I'm going to streak out. Let's turn it down a little bit. Down to 10. Okay, and streak it out like that. Make it a little more intense back here. I'm going to click over to highlights now. Now I might get, oh no, don't like that. Do just a little bit. Okay. Next, I'm going to add a filter over the whole thing to kind of create a glow effect. Now, I'll show you some of these options in Pixlr that I don't have here that are very cool. So, layer, new, boom. Hit OK. Like this. I want greens. Come down here. Top one, I'm going to go with this nice kind of warm, lemony sunlight color. And here, I kind of want a nice rooty forest color. I could also flip-flop these and say, get my eyedropper tool. I want some of this kind of dirty green down here. Oh, that's even better. Perfect. Flip-flop. Okay, here we go. Right-click. Gradient tool. There's a gradient tool in Pixlr. I want to see what this is going to do. Okay. Let's see what happens. Now I'm going to take my blending tool. Oh, nope. Not bad. Nope. 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 Okay. Soft light though, right? No. But it does kind of make the background look good. That made it worse. Terrible. Cool looking, but not what we're after. Nope. Nope. That's wild. Kind of cool. Definitely not. Multiply. We're going to go with screen. We're going to pick opacity. Go down like that. Just a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to take my eraser tool and erase away that on my plant. So you can hardly see it. It's because the opacity is so low. But I'm going to erase away all that detail on my plant here. These guys here, but it adds a little bit of green to the water. There we go. Okay. Shift, right click, merge layers. All right, guys. So here we go. We have the final image, original image. So we've added blues, we've added warmth, we've added glow, we've added contrast, we've added pop. A lot of little edits there. Okay. Now some other tools I could have used that are kind of nice. I can go up here to filter, sharpen, smart sharpen. And I can use this tool here to really increase the clarity. So if I was going to edit a city and I wanted kind of a gritty intensity to it, see here. Yeah, there we go. Hit OK. So see what that did. Now look at my, oh, it's thinking. These take a while. Come on, Photoshop. This screen is so green. This one's very blue. That was kind of purpley, magenta colored. Okay, so you can see here in my highlights down here. Watch this. They're just a little crisper as well, a little bit sharper detail. Okay, something like that. So there are, I would probably put another 20 minutes into this, but I don't want you guys to fall asleep and die. So I'm gonna let you guys do some editing now. Okay, I do want to hop over here to Pixlr. Okay, so same photo, that little trick I did. Now watch this. I can do that same thing here. Make it very bright yellow. Hit OK. I'm gonna do blue. Make it a little funky. Hit OK. All right. Layer, new layer, gradient tool. Chapow. No. What are you doing? There we go. That's my colors. Okay, and then I can click these little three dots right here. Blend mode, screen, turn down my opacity. Okay, and then I can take my eraser tool if I wanted to and erase some of it, just like we did in Photoshop. Okay, very cool, right? I can do that there. There's also, these are really neat. I got to click on my background layer. Filter. You can sharpen. You can add these. These are kind of cool effects that you'll see. Effects library. I can go through and pick some pre-made settings, apply, and make things pretty intense. So there's a lot of nice stuff you can do here. Okay. So you need to edit a landscape and a cityscape. If you need to stand up, stretch, do you guys want to go outside? Dane does. Bree does. Okay. Elliot's like, nah, I'm good. I don't care. All right. So everybody at home, we're gonna take another break here. We're gonna head outside. You guys can go outside too if you want. Come and say hi to us. But we're gonna be outside for 10 minutes. All right. And then we're gonna get back and we're gonna start editing. All right.